Okay,
Yeah.
so, all right, so the homework was to do the F, C, and G7, each chord string. Let me just check. Somebody's on Messenger. Let me just make sure nobody's having trouble getting into the class. Yeah, let me give her the link. Oops. Oh, I don't know if I can give her the link once we've started. Okay, you guys all just used the link from last week, right? And we're able to get on no problem? Okay, so hopefully she can too. It's crazy. I have my computer open with to all these things. Okay, so let's start. We're gonna start with doing the C chord and then the F chord and then the G7 chord. Oops. Okay, so Lisa, let's have you go first. Remember, I want you to go really slowly and just listen. Very nice, very nice. Now, when you go across the strings, if you can, instead of doing it like this where you're plucking each one, see if you can do it with your thumb going across kind of in a moon shape. Just try that one time for me. Great, and they should ring a little bit more doing it that way. Okay, great. All right, Diana. Can't see your face, but I can see your uke perfectly.
All right. That's the 4. I mean,
Let's have you do that again, okay?
Okay.
I got to help somebody get in the class. You just start all over again and do
No
that
problem.
again. Now, I want you to do it again, and this time, anytime any of your notes sound dead, I want you to stop and do it again, okay?
Okay.
So do that C again for me.
It's like I get it and then it's gone again.
Okay, well, I want you to do this. It's this string that you're having trouble with right there.
Okay.
So just play this string for me all alone.
And then
Just alone, just play that one string for me. There you go, make it sound good now. No, I just want to hear this one string, only one string. Okay, try moving it a little closer to the fret bar. You're real close up there. Move it just a little bit over.
okay.
Now press down harder. And I want you to practice that this week just by itself, because you've got to get a good sound on that, and it only comes from pressing down harder. And you don't want to be too close to this part, okay?
Right.
Better to be a little bit more over, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now do the G7 for me. that same string that's giving you problems.
Yay, I found you.
I know, I'm so glad to see you here. So do you see, Diana? It's that same string that sounds not so good, right?
Yes.
Just work on that. Now, the other thing I want you to do, though, and I want everybody to do this, is to check your hand position. Now, you're playing with your hand like this. Remember, I want it like this. And then with the back of your hand touching that tuner so that you're at an angle. So bring your elbow out more until you're touching that tuner. There you go. Now try that G7. Okay, just gonna have to practice that one note, but I want you to get that. And Lisa, you're kind of dark. I have a little trouble seeing you. Is there any way you can get a light, not behind you, but in front of you? So it'll put a little more light on you. Yeah, that's better. Okay, great. Karen?
Guess it would help if I unmuted myself. Whoops, Mr.
Okay, now Karen, I want to tell you what I told Lisa. See if instead of going like this when you're plucking your strings, you can do it like this. So you're really brushing against your strings.
Okay.
You can do that. It'll give it a more harp-like sound. So you're actually playing with this part of your finger when you do it, not the tip at all, but this part of your finger. There you go. There you go. Yeah. Great. And why don't you, Karen, move back just a hair? Just move back a little bit. Yeah. Because there you go. That's perfect. Okay, Trisha.
All right. So you might notice I had my ukulele was in my car that my husband took, so I borrowed a ukulele. So this is not my usual ukulele.
Ah, okay.
It's a little bigger too. So
yours is inside a car?
With my husband.
But is it hot?
No, it's fine.
Okay, good.
He took he can take it out when he gets there, but I just had left it. It'll be okay, I think.
Okay, great.
So
it's just, here in Arizona, your uke would.
Oh no, he's in the mountains. I think it'll be okay.
Okay, great.
And, yeah, it was not the ideal situation today.
Yeah, you want to work on that top one a little bit.
Yeah, it feels different on this one.
Yeah, that one's probably concert, and I think you usually play a soprano.
Yeah, it's bigger.
So, yeah, but you might find that you like that size better. I actually prefer the concert size. I didn't even know about it really before, but I find that now that I've been playing a concert, I like the size better.
Yeah.
So
your fingers are a little more spread out, so maybe that's an advantage.
Yeah.
So
you're doing fine though. Just keep working on that. Great.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, and Eric, I don't need to hear you, but go ahead and play it for me anyway if you want. No, you don't need to. You don't need to. I know you can play these. So, all right, Anna, play for us. I'm so glad you're on, Anna. I'm gonna quit. Sorry now. Okay. Okay, now, Anna, were you able to get a tuner and start tuning ukulele? Okay, so play me the strings on your ukulele. Play me this first string. Great, now the next one. Great. The next one. Okay, that one's a little bit off. Put your tuner on. What note is this string, everyone? What note is this string?
E.
E. So that's the note you want it to be, E.
What is supposed to be?
It's supposed to be E.
Yeah, E. It says
E. So you need to go way up, make it way tighter.
okay.
Turn your knob, turn your knob towards you. Turn
Okay.
your knob this way, towards you. Go a whole half turn. You're almost there. Go a little bit more. There you go. Good. And then now your last one. Okay, that one's way off. So do that one 2 turns. Two turns towards yourself. Yep, towards you. 2 turns. Okay, now play that for me. Play that. You're real close now. Yeah, good. Big improvement, Anna. Very good, very good. So I want you to keep working on that tuning thing, okay? And remember that you need to know the names of the strings so you make sure you tune it to the right note. Okay, so now play me the C chord. And I bet it sounds a lot better too, doesn't it? When you play it. Yeah. Great. Now the F chord. And I want you to go really slowly like this. Okay, now take your hand and move it like this. Remember, you got to have your fingers in the claw. So now do that F one again. Much better. Great, now the G7. Okay, now you're having the same problem as Diana. So it's this one right here.
Yeah.
Play just this for me, just this by itself. Okay, I want you to work on that and get that really sounding good all by itself and then with the F chord, okay? So every day I want you to just do this like 10 times. And Diana, you too, and listen. And if it doesn't sound really good, it doesn't count as one of the 10. All right? So 10 where it sounds really good playing that one all by itself, and then put the other one with it, okay? And anyone else who has trouble with that, because sometimes you won't have trouble and then all of a sudden you do. And then you just do it by itself, okay? The secret to learning a musical instrument is to isolate the problem and fix that. If you don't isolate the problem and you just keep going over it, then you're not going to fix it. So you don't want to keep doing this if this doesn't sound good, right? If this still sounds like this every time I do it, you can hear how bad that is, right? So if I just keep doing like that, then I'm not going to get any better. I've got to isolate that this is the problem and make that good, and then do it. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? Okay. All right. Very nice. Now let's do hammering on the F and the G7. So you're going to do hammer on your F. Try to have this hand position as much as you can. The hand position at the angle. So let's do 10 Fs, hammers, 1, 2, 3, 4. F, 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 F. Now I want you to try to change your hand position a little bit. Eric, see if you can get your, yeah, there you go. A little bit more like that. Good, Lisa, very good. Yeah, okay, great. Here we go. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Diana, get it out there. 4, 5. There you go. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. And remember, you're bringing both fingers down, right? Both fingers down. Let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. F, 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 F. Very good. Okay, now let's go to G7. Okay, now this one, it's really important that you have the right hand position. So remember, for G7, we put this finger down, and now we're just going to hammer with those 2 fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4. G7, 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 G7. Okay, it looks to me like everyone's doing pretty good on this. Diana, I want you to work on this a little bit more on the G7 to make sure you're getting both those fingers down at the same time. But it looks to me, does everybody pretty much have a handle on this one? So I'm not going to have you play this for me again, but I'm still going to have you do this for homework, okay? And just like the other one, at least 10 times a day, okay? Let's just say we're going to do those 10 times where it sounds good, all right? 10 times where it sounds good. Let's see. Okay, now we're gonna do the 1 strum from F to G7, F, G7, okay? So here we go, ready? Just F and G7. 1, 2, 3, 4. F, G7, F, G7. Remember your hand position. F, G7, F, G7, F, G7, F, G7. Now, is everybody keeping this finger down the whole time, right? You're not lifting it at all, correct? Okay, great. All right, so now let's go to G7 to C, okay? A little bit harder. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. G7, C, G7, C, G7, C, G7, C. Okay, great. So now I'm going to have you each do this for me. First, the F to the G7, and then the G7 to the C. So just keep playing until I tell you to stop, all right? So Lisa, let's have you start, and you'll do F to G7. Oh, sorry, not you, Anna. Anna, not you. We're doing Lisa, so that's okay. So Anna, I will call you Anna so we don't have the confusion because both of you have Lisa in your name. Okay, all right, so Lisa. Fantastic, that's really good, Lisa. Okay, now I want you to do G7 to C. Look at her hand position. You see how good her hand position is? You're doing fantastic, Lisa. Excellent, excellent. And do you find it comfortable to have your hand over here with that hand position?
It's easier to reach. I have a hard time with if it's like this.
Exactly. And that's why it's kind of weird at first. And then once you practice that way, then you realize it's easier, right?
Yeah, much easier.
Okay, fantastic. You sound great. Okay, Diana. Let's have you go F to G7. Check your notes there. You're not quite playing the F right. Okay, now Diana, when you play a chord, You don't want to go slowly with 4 different notes. It should sound like they're all hitting at the same time, like that. So you want to go across it kind of fast. Now, just with your finger, not with your whole hand, just your finger, your index finger, just, there you go. Good, now I want you to do 1 time on F, 1 time on G7, 1 F, 1 G7. Okay, all right, great. Now the problem is just getting those notes to sound out. And now I want you to do the G7 to C, but I want you to get your hand in the correct position. I want you to really work on that this week, Diana. If you can get comfortable playing with the right hand position, it's going to be like Lisa, where that's easier for you. It's just that it's hard to get used to at first, but then it'll make playing so much easier. Okay, so let's play G7 to C. Okay, Diana, you're doing good on your chords. I want you to write down something. When you're playing, you're doing this, a really slow strum. We don't do the really slow strum right now. That's a specific kind of strum that we'll do later when you want to do like. But for right now, we want to make sure you can do the regular strum, which is a fast strum. Do you play piano, Diana?
No.
Okay, so when you play piano and you play a chord, you play all 3 notes at the same time on the piano. And so what we're doing on the ukulele is we're trying to play all the notes at the same time, but you can't because they're separate, right? So that's why you want to go across them quickly so that it sounds as if they're all hitting at the same time, even though they're not. Okay, so if you can hear them separate, that's not good. The only time they should be separate is when you're doing the thing in your practice where you're listening. Okay? So that, and then I want you to write down the hand position. I want you to really work on that hand position this week.
Okay, got it.
Okay, super. Now do the G7 to C for me. Okay, now hold your uke up. Remember this way of holding it. Grab it, go out. And then come back in. Yeah, good. Okay, and Diana, if you want to drop by one day this week, I can show you a little bit more about holding it, okay? That might help you.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, Karen, F to G7. Oh, I think you're frozen, Karen. There we go. Okay, now do G7C. Okay, Karen, when you do G7 to C, I don't want you to pick up this finger. I want you to just slide it down there.
Slide it.
Yeah. Okay. So do that again for me.
I keep wanting to pick it up.
Yeah, so you really want to get that habit of doing it that way, okay? Because that's a really common chord combination where you go G7 to C. And so you want to get where that's super easy to play. And the easiest way to do it is that way. And if you do it that way, you don't have to look at your hands. You know exactly where that finger is, right?
Right.
So close your eyes and try it again.
Whoops.
Going back is harder, but I want you to work on that this week, okay? Write
Okay.
down that note to yourself about sliding that finger, okay?
Okay.
All right, great. Yeah. Just keep that finger touching your ukulele, and then you'll get, and then you'll get to where you just don't even have to worry about looking at that, okay? All right,
Okay.
write that down. Good. Trisha. Let's go F to G7. Very nice. Now G7 to C, beautiful hand position. Everybody look at her hand position. Yeah, so nice. Everybody see that? And the notes are nice and clear. It just makes a big difference. Very, very nice. Okay, Eric, let's have you do this because I miss hearing you play.
F to G7.
Yeah. Let's have you do the thumb strum. I mean the index finger
Sure.
strum. Yeah. Yeah. Good. Perfect. We're gonna have you play us another song today, so be thinking of what you're gonna play.
Uh-oh.
Okay, Anna, let's have you play for me. F to G7.
Ay, hold on.
Very nice. Great. Now G7 to C. Okay, now Anna, when you're going G7 to C, you're doing this. You're going G7, and then you're doing this weird thing where you're opening up your hand. I can't even quite copy it. I just want you to move that finger down. Don't do anything else with your other fingers, okay? Just G7 to C. Okay, that's all right. You're actually doing just fine. So you're doing great. Okay, so now we're gonna do F, G7, C, F, G7, C, okay? So here we go. It'll be F, G7, C, okay? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. F, G7, C, F, G7, C. Okay, everybody got that down, right? So now we're gonna do it with the strum pattern number 1. So we're gonna go F, 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 hit, G7, 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 hit, C, C, C. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. F, F, F. Hit, G7, G7, G7. Hit, C, C, C. Hit, F, F, F. Hit, G7, G7, G7. Hit, C, C, C. Hit, F, F, F. Hit, G7, G7, G7. Hit, C, C, C. Hit. Awesome. Okay, so let's have you do that for me. Lisa, let's start with you. Okay, Lisa, that's perfect except for one thing. When you do the hit, it's not just to silence your strings, it's a hit. Okay? And ukuleles can take it. They're made for people do all kinds of percussive things with ukulele, okay? So you actually want that sound, okay? And we're gonna do other stuff where you do other kind of things. But right now, this is what you want, is that hit sound, okay? All right, Diana.
All right.
Okay, so Diana, let's have you stop for a minute.
Mhm.
I want you to get your hand position right. And I want you to go more slowly. I want you to go the same speed as me. F, 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 hit, G7, that. Okay. And I really want you guys to play with this finger. Let me see if I can find something real fast to show you that shows you what I'm talking about. Let's see. Let's see if this, I think this will show it. Okay, I want you to watch how this guy does his, hang on, I don't know why it's not letting me, oh yeah, there we go. Okay. All right, so I want you to watch how he strums. He's just showing some different ukuleles, but I want you to just watch how he strums. Oh yeah, I forgot about this part. You're gonna do this later. It's really a cool little ditty. Okay, but now this is the part I want you to watch. Okay, now did you notice how he's only using his finger? And sometimes you can kind of see it as it's flying by. He's not doing this because this limits what you can play. You don't want to have these two fingers together. I mean, you can, if that's really how you want to play, because ukulele is very individualized, but the goal is to be able to play like this guy, right? And to get that kind of Hawaiian sound, you really want to be just using your finger. Do you want to just watch that last little bit again? Let's look at that again. Oh, let's see, we don't need that part. Here we go. Okay, so I mean that's really hard what he's playing, so I'm not saying that, you know, but but the idea of the finger, just the finger, because you get two different sounds when you use your finger. You get this sound, and then you get this sound. And they're different sounds because this way you're using your fingernail and this way you're using your finger. And that's really important. So for right now, this is the only way I want you to strum. So Diana, right now, this is how you're strumming. I don't want that. I want it with your finger out. This is how they do it, like this, okay? And then that leaves it really open, okay? Push it really loose. Everybody just do this. Just with your finger. Now remember, you don't want to strum down here. You want to be strumming a little higher up. Just that one. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, now whose turn was it to play? We were just sorry for that interruption. I think, Diana, you were doing it, right? Did you finish doing it? Okay, all right, Karen.
I forgot what we were doing.
F, G7, C with the down, down, down hit. Okay, now Karen, Karen, we have a real bad connection, so I might be seeing it wrong. Karen, can you hear me? Karen,
Yeah, I can.
okay, so we have a bad connection. Evidently, it's going on all over this area lately. But I really want you to be using just this finger, and your other finger's just kind of out. I don't want to see it like this. I want it like this.
Okay.
Yeah, now play it for me. Okay, good. Now you want to make sure that they're all even. F, 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 hit, G7, 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 hit, C, 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 hit, F. Do you understand what I mean? So there's not a pause between. Okay, great. Trisha?
Okay. I like the F is the hardest for me to get my fingers up there.
Hard. Great. Super. Eric, do you want to play that for me or not? You don't need to. Okay. I can tell you're working on what you're going to play for us later. So, okay, Anna, you play for us.
D7, D7, no, F, sorry.
Yeah.
F, 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 hit. D7, 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 hit. C, 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 hit. D7, 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 hit. I, F. D7, D7. C, hit.
All right, great. You got it.
F, hit.
Yes. Okay, now what we're going to do is, let's see. I'm going to show you something, and I'm going to post it in the Facebook group, and I want y'all to print it out. Okay? Can everyone see that? Exercise number 1. Now, the way that this ukulele method works that I'm teaching you with, it's a method that I wrote, and it'll have exercises that go along with the songs. So this is the exercise that uses the C, F, and G7 chord. And then we're going to learn a bunch of songs that use those chords. The exercise will always be harder than the songs that come after it. So learning this exercise will mean that the songs are pretty easy. Then we'll go to exercise 2, and that'll add 2 more chords. And then you won't need to do exercise 1 anymore because it'll include it. Does that make sense? So, but for right now, exercise 1 is your #1 thing to practice. You want to get really good at this. Okay. Now we're going to use that same strum that we were just doing, the down, 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 hit. And you're going to play it 4 times, 1 time here. And then when you have this dash, that means you do the strum pattern again, and then the strum pattern again, strum pattern again. And then we switch to G7, and we're going to do that 4 times. And then F 4 times, G7. Does that make sense? And then when we get down to here, we're only going to do it 2 times. So we'll go down, 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 hit, down, 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 hit, and then we'll switch down, 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 hit. And then when we get down here, you only do it once, down, 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 hit, down, down, okay? So this line is the hardest part, and there's a repeat. So we do the last line twice, but you don't want to go too fast on this part, even though it's pretty boring, because then when you get to here, it's a lot harder. Okay, so let's start at the beginning and do this together. Any questions about this? Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, and say the chord. C, C, C. Hit, C, C, C. Hit, C, C, C. Hit, C, C, C. Hit, G7, G7, G7. Hit, G7, G7, G7. Hit, G7, G7, G7. Hit, G7, G7, G7. Hit, F, F, F. Hit, F, F, F. Hit, F, F, F. Hit, F, F, F. Hit, G7, G7, G7. Hit, G7, G7, G7. Hit, G7, G7, G7. Hit, G7, G7, G7. Hit, C, C, C. Hit, C, C, C. Hit, C, C, C. Hit, C, C, C. Hit, F, F, F. Hit, F, F, F. Hit, F, F, F. Hit, F, F, F. Hit, G7, G7, G7. Hit, G7, G7, G7. Hit, G7, G7, G7. Hit, G7, G7, G7. Hit, F, F, F. Hit, F, F, F. Hit, F, F, F. Hit, F, F, F. Hit, C, C, C. Hit, C, C, C. Hit, G7, G7, G7. Hit, G7, G7, G7. Hit, C, C, C. Hit, C, C, C. Hit, F, F, F. Hit, F, F, F. Hit, C, C, C. Hit, C, C, C. Hit, F, F, F. Hit, F, F, F. Hit, G7, G7, G7. Hit, G7, G7, G7. Hit, C, C, C. Hit, C, C, C. Hit, C, C, C. Hit, C, C, G7, 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 hit. G7, 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 hit. C, 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 hit. G7, 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 hit. F, 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 hit. C, 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 hit. C, 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 hit. F, 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 hit. G7, 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 hit. C, C. And then we go back to the beginning of the last line. C, 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 hit. G7, 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 hit. F, 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 hit. C, 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 hit. C, 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 hit. F, 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 hit. G7, 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 hit. C, 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 hit. Okay, how'd you guys do? So it's a great exercise. I don't want you to go faster than you can play the last line, all right? So if you can play it super fast until you get to the last line, that means you're going too fast, right? And the last line is obviously the hardest part, so that's what you practice more than anything else, okay? And I want you to really work on that this week, and then next week we'll get our first song, okay? And getting this exercise is going to make a really big difference. So the homework is, let's see, still the same 3 chords. And remember, these 3 chords are awesome because most songs are use these 3 chords. So F, each chord, string by string, so you really listen. Then I want you to do the hammer at least 10 times that sounds good every day, at least on each one, and slow. Don't go fast, go slow, okay? Then I want you to do the 1 strum, F to G7, F to G7, G7 to C, G7 to C, and then I'm gonna add C to F, C to F, okay? And I'm gonna write all this out for you, and then exercise number 1. Okay, does it make sense? Okay, so Eric, let's have you play for us, if you don't mind. I hope you don't mind that I just volunteer you for doing this.
No, I mean, it's okay. I mean, you have to kind of sit through the fact that I can't carry a tune, but.
That is never a problem.
All right, good luck, guys. Ooh, when the night has come, the land is dark, and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. Sorry.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I mean, I guess I could have done the chorus, but I was getting high for me. So.
Oh my gosh,
Thank
you have
you.
so much fun. So, and you can always say no when I ask you to do that. So,
That's okay.
but oh, that's fun. You play so well.
It's very fun. It's encouraging too. Thank you, Eric.
Oh, you're welcome, guys.
Yeah, thanks.
So I like the exercise though, because I know I got a lot of posture problems.
Mhm.
So, and I can feel, you know, maybe I can play the chords, but I'm not holding things right. My arm is all burnt out already just from, instead of this to this.
Yes.
So it's all good class.
Oh, I'm so glad. And another thing that I've been reading up on lately is with this strum thing, some people use their whole arm, and how you can just get, your elbow gets tired when you do that.
Sure.
Your hand. So there's a lot of
I try to rotate more.
Yeah, exactly. And the hand position is fantastic. I wish that I had known about this all the years I've been using ukulele in my countries, because it's so much more comfortable. And my uke was always slipping on me when I was playing.
Yeah.
You get used to playing this way, you don't have that uke slip problem.
I usually set it on my, I have a stool, I set it on my leg or, you know, my belly.
Yeah, so it's much better to do it this way, and then you're just free. You can hold it, and so that's really awesome.
Is there a trick to when you're strumming to stay up here? My hand automatically wants to go down here.
The
And
main
I'm trying to force myself to stay up here.
the biggest trick for that, I'm really glad you asked, is to try to remember to bring your uke in here and bring your hand across. Try not to be doing this. Try to bring it. Go ahead and do that hand position, right? And then when you do it, think of it as you're gonna keep, like, I usually play more like this with just my finger, but I've been watching more players play and they don't do that. They leave all their hand open. And I think that's because later on, we're gonna wanna do strums where you do different things with different fingers. So I think actually it's better to do more of an open-handed strum where you keep this down. And then I notice when I do my open hand, it's automatically over here. I don't know if that makes a difference for you, Karen.
Yeah, it feels better.
And for me, the big trick is this thing right here, making sure that it's really in there. When I do that, then my finger is there. Does that make sense at all? Does that help? Okay. All right, and feel free to bring your uke over on Wednesday if you want to go through anything.
Okay.
Karen comes to my house every Wednesday for my mom, so sometimes we have fun too. Well, we always have fun actually, because she's really fun. But anyway, all right, you guys. So I will post this homework right now, and the exercise 1. Make sure you print it out. Don't just use it. What I'm going to do is I'll give you pages to print. So try to get some kind of a folder or something. And sometimes I'll have you write things on it. So that's why I don't want you to just use it on the computer or something. So I'll give you both of those right now, and then I'll try to get the class put online tonight. It takes a couple hours, and I teach again right now. But then I'll get that up tonight or tomorrow. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
You guys are
Thank
awesome.
you.
Good night.
Really
Good night. Have a good week.
Thank you, everyone.
wonderful week. Be safe, everyone.
Bye.
Too.
Bye-bye.